Well, they've done it. They've officially printed their ticket to the grand finals in Chicago next week. I'm joined right now by Jensen from Cloud9 after their victory over 100 Thieves. Of course, this coverage brought to you by Alienware. So, Jensen, a 4-1 series, a crazy ending of that first game. What was it like for you in those final moments as you were securing the Nexus?
What was it like for me? That's a good question, actually. I'm not even sure. I wasn't really thinking about it too much, honestly. I was just like, oh, we won, and I guess we're going to finals. But I thought we were going to get there either way. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy we won, but I don't think there was like any specific crazy emotion that was going through me.
Well, I wasn't even talking about the win to get you to finals. I was talking about the crazy base race situation.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. It started out really well. I think it was really good what I did, but then as I was hitting the Nexus, I was like so tunneled on the Nexus that I didn't even realize the puppy was like 1 HP. So I didn't kill the puppy when I could have just one-shot him because I was like so zoned in on the Nexus and the HP and like what I had to do to like dodge their skill shot, like my pathing and whatnot. So I almost griefed it because I'm pretty sure I should have just one-shot the puppy and then it wouldn't even have been close. But I didn't even realize that until after the game, and when my teammates told me, "Why didn't you hit the puppy?" I was like, "Oh, I could have killed him." But it was crazy because I've never actually been in a situation like that, so it was cool.
How hard was your blood pumping afterwards?
Oh, that was crazy. I don't think I've experienced a situation like that before. Never had a game that was like so close to like, you end here or like you might lose the game situation. So that it was a pretty cool experience.
So it's been fascinating to see what C9 has had happen to them over the course of this split, because for a while you guys were really mediocre. And then going into this, it's very funny because Fudge was like, oh yeah, fuck you guys, whoever doubted us, but he was also the one that was saying we suck. So what happened in playoffs? What changed?
I think towards the end of the regular split, we kind of just figured out how we wanted to play as a team and found our identity a bit more. I think we messed up a lot in the drafting phase, so our drafts were pretty hard to execute. But I think we kind of figured out what worked for us, and I mean, on top of that, we've been improving as well as individuals. I think we're playing a lot better and making less mistakes, so that for sure helps. But I think we have a pretty clear plan and identity on how we want to play as a team now.
Okay, similarly, obviously the team has had issues, but I think a lot of people were critical of your return to the LCS, not necessarily saying that you were bad by any means, but just feeling like you weren't living up to your own standards. So, do you feel like that's fair, or were you kind of held back by Max Waldo's drafts? I don't know what caused you to pop off so much in playoffs, because it feels like in playoffs people are like, oh my God, Jensen's back.
Yeah. I think we weren't really on the same page as a team in the beginning, and that impacted me a bit. But I also think I just played worse. I had to really figure out how to play myself. I was honestly feeling a bit washed up, and I could definitely tell the players was actually a lot better this time around compared to the previous years. The competition in mid lane especially has grown a lot since I last played. So that was one part that made it a bit more difficult too. And then, I was just making a lot of stupid mistakes. So I think I just looked worse because of that. But I think during playoffs, I usually also ramp up myself anyways. I usually have a pretty good idea on what to do or how I want to play during playoffs. And I tend to be more clutch in playoffs. So that also helps a bit.
There's a discussion that I think you are now the player that has gone to Worlds the most going into this year. So, what do you attribute that to? And do you feel like people underrate you at all? Because obviously, like, there's other mid laners that sometimes get more attention in the league. So I don't know. What's your general thought on how consistently you've been able to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something people usually talk about once Worlds roll around, and that's when they like really start to appreciate the accomplishment in itself. But then during the regular season, they just look at the bad parts, which makes sense. I do play like shit sometimes, and I mean, there's also like some people who are like, yeah, like, just wait till playoffs, he'll do better. So that's nice. But I do think sometimes I can be underrated a bit, and making worlds every year is no easy task. But I'm happy to have made it again.
Okay, I'm going to offer you 3 different scenarios here because as of right now, we don't know who the final team going to Chicago is. Scenario 1, Team Liquid doesn't get to Chicago. Scenario 2, Team Liquid gets to Chicago but loses to 100T. Scenario 3, Team Liquid makes it to the finals but loses to you guys. Which of these 3 scenarios is most interesting to you and why?
God damn it, you're really putting me on the spot here, huh? I think in a way it would feel good that they don't make it to Worlds after replacing me, because the whole thing felt a bit messed up to me. But at the same time, I do have a lot of friends on the team, and I really like some of the guys there, so I would want them to succeed as well. So I think it would be nice if they make it to the finals, and I get to make it personal there.
Very good. Very good. Well, we'll see how things go as they face EG tomorrow. Do you have a prediction between the 2 teams?
If you asked me a week ago, I would say EG for sure, but I think, oh man, this one's tough. 3-2. Either way, honestly, I can't do it, Travis. I have no idea.
Bit of a coin flip, so we'll find out. Is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, thank you guys for supporting me. It's been a wild ride. I hope you guys will come cheer for me in Chicago, and I'm looking forward to taking my first trophy with C9 for once. See you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. All right, I got 3 different tiers for you here if you decide you want to support me after watching that video, which would be great. There's a free tier, which is where you subscribe to the channel. There's a maybe more moderate tier, which is where you just become a member of the channel for $2.99. You can hit the button below. It's like a new thing I'm experimenting with that YouTube introduced. You can get early access to some content that way. And then the top tier is by purchasing something from Alienware, using the link in my description, which is alienware.com/Travis. They sponsor the whole channel, so it's really cool whenever you do that. Either way, let me know. Maybe you choose to do none of that, and that would be unfortunate, especially if you don't subscribe, because that's literally free.